So I didn't know that it rubbed off my elder kid. Sometimes my wife or my parents want to purchase something. Subconsciously, she will say something like, do you really need that?
For me and us, we are running like a business model. I was describing the concept of heaven to my daughter Ava, who was 4 years old at the time. You know, in an age-appropriate way, heaven is like this. Then she says, Mommy, is heaven like Bintan?
And would you say like planning for a trip together is one of the most important part? Welcome to TFC Budget Royale Parent Edition, live from the Price of Tomorrow at OCBC Wisma. Woo! Yes. This is our first Budget Royale live, and we're going to make it extra fun because usually it's amongst us, you know, we vote amongst ourselves. Who do we think has the best budget tip of the category? But today, with a live audience, all of you get to vote. Yes, and you get to win autographed copy of my face. Hey, no. That's what I say. No, you get to win. Okay, just not a car, but we have prepared some very fun award-winning board games for all of you to bring back home. Okay, so there are two winners today. One is one of our panelists here. They will win. So if you vote for them, they win the category. After 3 categories, someone will win the prize. And then amongst all of you, fastest fingers first, you will win a prize too. Okay, so very simple. 3 rounds of Budget Royale. Every round is a theme, okay? And all of them will come in with their best budget tip, and you get to decide who has the best tip. So for today's edition, it's going to be parenting, parent expenses, because it's always said that, oh my God, parents spend a lot of money. Is it true?
Yeah, very true.
Very definitive, yeah. So I'm the sole individual here without kids, so I'm here to judge all of you lah. Okay, and indulge in the stresses of being a parent. But before we begin, shall we go one round just to introduce yourself to our audience?
I am Lalita. I am a mom. My 2 kids are there. And I'm a I used to be a lawyer, but now I'm a happy yoga teacher and a happy mom.
And we did a whole episode about her transition. Yeah, so check out Wise and Shine. You will hear her story. Yes.
Hi, my name is David. I'm author of Minimalist in the City. I'm actually a financial blogger. So I started my blog like 9 years back. Actually, in a sense, it's personal finance. At the same time, I also document the journey of my kids, how they grew up under the philosophy of minimalism.
You see, yeah, he has the chim ideas, okay? So you must sell the chim ideas to everyone, okay? Ultimately, it's a public vote today, okay? So yes, and yes, Serafina?
Yeah, my mom, Serafina, from the Genesis family.
Okay.
So we do content online.
Okay, what type of content? Tell us. Which handle? What's your handle?
The Genesis family.
Okay.
Yes, so my personal handle is Serafina Genesis. So there's 2 different. So one is personal lifestyle, the other one is family lifestyle.
Okay. So we have 3 rounds in today's Budget Royale. First round, we're starting with enrichment classes. I say already, I also like, oh my God, there's so much in this, right? And the second round is about a financial tool and activity. Okay. And the third round is about family travel. Every round, you're supposed to put up your best budget tip and convince the crowd to vote for you. Okay? And before we begin, I give you one little tip. It's best to start first, right? Because you get to lay the ground. You don't like paise, yeah, then you're going to lose. Okay? So first round, we're going to start for enrichment class. Who wants to start?
Me. You told me that I should start first, right? Otherwise, I would have gone last. So the kids have done many, many classes, right? But our enrichment classes are actually all not academic because I think they're still too young for academic stuff. So for all the enrichment classes they've done, I will pick 100% chop dance class. Okay? Because dance class, have you ever thought of what a brain of a dancer must be like? It's how they can do the coordination, 1, 2, 3, 4, everything's different moves, right? So honestly, I think I always wanted to be a dancer, but sadly I cannot dance. So I want to instill that in my children early. It's like a whole brain workout, basically. And the dance class we found, I thought was firstly, if you're talking about budget, it was super affordable. $40 for 1.5 hours per child. And then there's a sibling discount as well, right? So it's very good.
So there are bundle deals everywhere. Huh?
Yeah, no. Other dance classes weren't so cheap.
Okay.
And this was super fun. And what they did was, I liked it because they separated the boys and the girls classes. So sometimes, and the boys had a boy coach, girl had a girl coach. Because sometimes when I find, for my son, if he's surrounded by a bunch of girls who do dancing, he doesn't really get into it. right? But when he has other boys around him, he will dance, he's happy, he has fun, and then he looks up also to the male coach. So I found that was a big difference with other dance classes. Also, my goodness, they had a recital. They had a recital after it would. And it was just so amazing, also very reasonably priced. I would honestly go to see this recital even if my children were not taking part in it. It was so moving, and they have the whole school, so from ages 3, 4, 5 years old up to 17, 18, up to the coaches. So they each had their own section of dancing. There was a storyline, there was acting, there was costumes. It was just spectacular, moving, touching to see these little children give it all, their all, and all in sync. Very nice. 100% this yes, because I've done other ones and really not so good.
What have you done? And it's not so
me,
good.
I mean with the kids.
Yeah, what have your kids done and it's not so good?
My daughter has done ballet, and that one, like for example, the recital was prohibitive price. It was $457 for just one if you want your child to be in the show. They're just milking you because they think you'll pay for it. So of course we didn't do it. This one was not. This one was the tickets were only $30 for the recital, and the whole performance weekend and the prep and the extra rehearsals and the food, everything was only $200 per child. So it was super worth it, and the show was so good.
So why not anything academic? I mean, you prefaced your dance class with this, right?
Honestly, we live in Singapore, and
Academic can wait, it's coming.
yeah, it's coming. They're already going to lose so much of their childhood once they go to primary 1, and I don't want to start too young. Let them enjoy their childhood while they can and build their brains in other ways. School will build their academic brain already.
Okay, great. So that is Alita, dance classes, okay? Yes, next. Anyone can start.
me?
Yeah.
No enrichment class.
Wait, you mean like...
Almost no. Yeah.
Almost no
Almost
and
no.
no is different, you know?
Yeah.
Just so I'm very clear.
I start off with no.
Okay, no,
And
yes.
after that, as the child get older, they have their
Okay.
own interests.
Okay.
So they will want to request for the enrichment that they want.
So what you're telling everyone in this round is don't do enrichment class.
So expensive.
Okay.
Yeah, especially because so many kids, right? $40 a lesson is expensive for me.
Okay, so how did that kind of evolve? But I can tell you, if your budget tip is no spend,
No
you
spend.
sure lose this round, you know?
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that is not a tip lah, right?
No spend.
Confirm lose, but
you
anyway.
know why? Because the school,
Yeah.
your school, your kids is already in primary school, secondary school. There's so many CCA. There's dance CCA.
Yeah, but mine are still babies. Yeah.
So my children is also into dance.
Okay.
But we go for the CCA.
Oh,
Okay,
I see. So it gets cheaper because it's not, you don't pay, it's free.
So CCAs, they dance.
Cheat code lah, everyone also can
the
free,
K-pop
right?
dance, many types of dance.
But actually, can you kind of elaborate a little bit? Like, how did you start with this, right? Because most parents these days, you know, it's not about not doing it, it's about what to do. Right? So how did you arrive at this thought, and how they kind of evolve over time?
Sure.
Yeah.
So I'm sure as if you're a first-time parent, you want everything for your child. You want the child to excel. So with my firstborn, I fill her up with everything. Yeah, 7 days, every day, brain training, right brain training, dance and movement, speech and drama, everything to train the kid into a well-rounded genius kid. But then as they grow up, yeah, things are different. They change interests. Imagine the ballet class that you pay for years, or the piano class that you pay for years, and they don't want to go ahead. Then how? So that's going to be an impact for the mom also, like in terms of financially. And the time that we invest, imagine every Sunday burn just to bring the kid to the enrichment class. You could have spent the time like
with
having
us
nice
on a
dinner.
Sunday. You know? Yes.
Picnic.
At
Get out
OCBC
here,
with
win some
Smart.
prize.
Yes. We'll see you at the next one. Yeah.
Yeah, so I started from there. Okay. Thereafter, I just like, okay, if you want, then we just go ahead. I mean, like, okay, so there's a lot of CCA in school that you can choose. In our primary school and secondary school, they have a lot, like from water polo to dance, K-pop dance, or even taekwondo. Yeah, so one of my child is taking taekwondo, but we go to community center. So community center is just like, I think one term is $90.
What?
Yes.
Well, this is very community.
Yes. So it's, I think it's a 3 months worth of weekly lessons, about 2 hours. So it's only $90.
Wow.
So it's like
okay.
one lesson is 10. So if you're interested in class, you want your child to try classes, maybe start from free trial, or you can go to the community center to try. They have a lot. You go People Association website.
So your ideas have kind of shifted over time. Have you
Shifted.
done differently from kid 1 and kid
Yes.
2? Like
Yes.
how has that kind of changed?
So the first one was everything.
Everything, right?
Yeah, and
Yes.
after that stop.
Okay.
Like what?
There must be
after
something that
that-
happened, right? Like did your kid
The
tell you
piano
like
class,
this
then
is
she's
cool?
piano class stop, ballet class stop. Yeah.
So she didn't want
So
to do
these are
it.
true story.
Okay,
Yes.
okay.
So we changed. Then I realized that kids, they actually don't know what they want.
But then kids will always, just like you, right? Also, when you are involved in doing something, you're like, sometimes I don't want to go to yoga class, or I don't want to go to gym, I don't want to do this, because you're feeling lazy, right? But in the end, it is good that you go, right? So as a parent, I feel that children will always, sometimes, even if they enjoy it, they'll say, I don't want to go to here today, I don't want to do BJJ, or I don't want to do dance class, I don't want to do coding, or whatever they're doing, right? But when they go, they enjoy it, or in the long term, it's good that they go. And you as their parent have a certain responsibility to try and get them motivated to go, right? I mean, there's obviously they're going to say, I don't want to go at some point.
Okay, great. So dance class. So no enrichment class or taekwondo or community, no?
Go community.
Community, okay.
Go
That one got a bit more chance than no spend, okay?
Schools,
Okay.
community. Yes.
Okay, so that's for enrichment. And yourself?
My elder girl is like 11, and then the younger boy is 8 years old. So I kind of like try everything. So it's like from community centers, outside enrichment class, ballet, piano. I can feel the frustration. It's like, it's not just them like having the motivation to go, right? You also need to have you need to motivate them. You need to motivate yourself to motivate them to go. Phonics, initially I felt it's like overpriced, like $60 or $70 an hour. But now on hindsight, right, with all the books around this area, right, my kids can kind of like read all kinds of books nowadays.
Oh.
Yeah. So in terms of like understanding a lot of like general knowledge, they are very ferocious reader, like they read even more than myself. Even though me and my wife, we read quite a bit. But then I didn't know that kind of like, rub off that influence to them. And then now they are reading on their own. So their knowledge is basically, sometimes like goes for some classes out to school, to the zoo or whatever, right? The knowledge they have is like the zookeepers have a tough time keeping up with. Because at the same time, also the prevalence of screen time lah. Now on hindsight, right? The prevalence of screen time, right? It's very difficult for me to replace that screen time with anything else other than reading. So we went to, nowadays it's like NLB library is free. So every time we borrow the maximum amount of books, and then they just happen to read. And then recently, because my boy is like upcoming, right? Primary 2. Now they have a discussion. They have a debate among them, like a certain topic on young scientists kind of book. Then I was like, wow, okay, that's impressive lah. It's like,
And you believe that is tied to phonics.
but then I think the phonics kind of like provide that foundation. Yeah, correct. Because I realized as a school volunteer at a school, I'm the chairman of my kids' primary school. So I realized a lot of kids when they are primary 1, they struggle to read. So it might hinder their way of learning, that kind of thing. Every time I go to the library, I do some storytelling to the kids, right? I assume like most kids, primary 1, primary 2 should know how to read already. But in actual fact, it's a neighborhood school. So I realized there's a lot of challenges between like how much resources they actually have within their family. Just something as simple as reading. The phonics can actually help them in their learning process so far.
Okay, so that is round 1. We lay round 1. Now we're gonna do the voting. Okay, so our speakers have shared with you their best budget tip for this category. We're gonna vote. Okay, so phones ready. In 3, 2, 1, vote. Let's reveal who is the winner of round 1. Woo! But yes, great on you, Lalita. Round 1. You just need to win one more round and you'll get my autograph.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, but try harder.
What an incentive.
So round 2, we are entering financial activity or tool. Okay, so this is an open idea for you to share how are you doing an activity or a particular tool that you use, to empower your kids and train them and teach them. But yes, open the floor. Who wants to start? What do you use?
Okay, my controversial point, even though I'm a financial coach, right? There's no tool. There's no one tool that works.
It's like enrichment class. There's no class. Don't do this class. Hey,
Because
come on, give me something.
Initially
Yes.
I read across the board, like in like overseas, how they actually teach their kids. Then I realized I try to advocate that like play Monopoly, play Rich Dad Poor Dad, that kind of thing. But then I realized actually every kid is different. They are not like me. It's like I comprehend like numbers differently. So I just want to kind of like give them examples. So I kind of like do role modeling. So I do like recording our expenses, I do budgeting, and then I kind of like plan for my trips, that kind of thing. I get them involved in planning the trips.
How do you get them involved?
So I actually built out a spreadsheet.
8-year-old start spreadsheet already. Oh my God, life is so
they can
tough,
kind of like, because I just want to show them like how to do it.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm formerly from the finance sector, so this is how I actually do my finance. But then it's actually I don't enforce it. I kind of like let it rub off them, so that if they realize, this point actually is important, so probably they can pick up that recording our expenses might be important.
How does that look like? Because in some ways you are trying to get them to participate, right?
Yeah.
So as much as you say it's rub off, right? There must be some like, you're seeing some progress on that front. So how did that evolution look
But
like?
it's through many years of like hard work, so called like. When I say role modeling, it's not something that in the first place I already want to teach them A, B, C, D. It doesn't work that way. So I kind of like show them a preview of my life and then how I actually do my finances, that kind of thing. So along the way, like minimalism, right? So I advocate for minimalism, right? So I didn't know that it rubbed off my elder kid. Yeah. So nowadays she will say like, sometimes my wife or my parents want to purchase something, she will ask something like, subconsciously she will say something like, do you really need that? Sometimes like as parents, guilty parents, right? It's like, wow, every time Christmas we need to buy gifts, right? Then she start to realize like, hey, actually I don't need all these things. It's like I just need experience that you want to share with the family. Yeah. So I kind of like advocate for that. But I didn't like enforce it on them. I mean, if they really want to eventually get a gift, I will get it for them. But then because as time goes by, my girl kind of like learn from it. So there was one day that she told me, actually, Daddy, I don't need anything. I just need time with you or something like that. Maybe we can go for a trekking. We can go for an outing together, that kind of thing. So she's now 11 years old. And then she can kind of like proudly say that, oh yeah, I'm also a minimalist. Which is like, wow, I never expected it. So even though I kind of like advocate minimalism, right, I didn't really like ask them, you need to be like this, like.
They just followed you. They just saw your example.
Yeah, I saw an example. And if it works for them, then it's good.
So you develop it through role modeling and getting them to participate.
So from the school events, I also kind of like volunteer for school. So I volunteer. Then after that, I see like, they also start to volunteer for school. Initially, they were very passive. So after through the role modeling, they start to volunteer for the library. They start to volunteer for other things, to be involved in other projects, that kind of thing. It's like, wow, okay.
And would you say like planning for a trip together is one of the most important part of this role modeling exercise to teach them financials?
It's just one of the many parts. Yeah. It's just that now they are better, they are older, they are better able to comprehend the budget, the so-called budgeting, the expenses, all this stuff, right? Then they have a good sense of actually how much it costs to go for all this. Yeah, so it actually works better nowadays. Yeah.
Okay, role modeling.
For me and us, my
financial
family,
activity and tool.
Yes. We are running like a business model.
At
We're
home?
operating like a business. So there is like revenue, there's like expenses, there's income, the salary. Yes. Then saving is like the employee how he
Do they need to sign a payment slip?
No, not digital.
Okay, digital. Yes.
So
OCBC, my own account.
When the
Yes,
funds
yes.
transfer, they already got receipt already.
Okay. So you really model this thing with your kids.
Yes.
And how do you think they picked up over time? How do you think they learn?
Because we are full-time content creator, so the Genesis families, I registered a business account. They learn about how business works, how income come in, how we pitch for
That's
a
interesting.
campaign.
Yeah. How active are they in this whole
Oh,
process?
they are very active from.
So it's not like you want them to participate and then they're like, see a bit, then they chow, like they actually sit down with you and go through
How
this.
old?
Yeah.
It's a gradual thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
How old?
10 onwards, 10,
10, okay.
teenager and 20s, yes. Because we've been doing this for almost 10 years. So gradual from their kids, they just fool around playing. Then things to get more serious. So everybody get involved to do the planning, filming, editing.
Okay. And this financial element, how do you see that kind of help them develop in other
Okay, so
aspects?
they'll understand that if you want to spend, you need to earn.
Mommy is very serious about this, huh? Yes.
You want to spend on your own
So
money.
yes, if there's no earnings, how are you going to spend?
At what age does this thing start? I feel very tough being part of the family. At what age does these things start?
Buy your own milk when you're a baby.
Yeah. Like, hey boy, 7 already, Time to earn your keep, right? It's like, whoa. So just so we give some context to the audience, right?
I think this is very good because like the kid don't rely on parent
Okay.
for the income. So they will know that, this is how much I earn this month. And how much will go into my blind boxes, my toys. Or like when I travel, if I want something, then it's like from my own keep. So I think it's they have a self-worth. So they actually really do enjoy. So you can see different kids. Some like to spend, some super saver, don't want to spend. Yeah, they're very different. There are some like to treat the friends. So they have an income. So they are very generous to their friend. When they go to McDonald's, okay, sure, my treat. Everybody get to eat McDonald's for free. Yeah. So different kids. Some,
And is there a learning lesson there after you find out that, okay, McDonald's, I treat, I make money, right? Did you try to capture that learning lesson? Or you think
I feel that like they see money differently. They know how to work with it. Money as a tool. Yes.
Okay. Just so I understand, at what age did this become more clearer?
Mid-primary to late.
Okay,
yeah,
primary
so maybe
2
like
onwards. Okay, so
5. The 2-digit age, age. That means like 10, 11, 12. Anything less than 10 or 9, 8, 7, then they still fooling around.
Okay. But from your optics, you will still start them early lah.
Yes.
Right,
Like of course, as a role model, as an example. Then after they pick it up, they have the foundation already. Then you incorporate the what you should do the tools, financial tools.
Genesis family, tough life. 10-year-old must start doing all these things already. Okay. But it's a build up, right? Ultimately, it's your ideas on what works and educating your kids,
Yes,
right?
and
In that sense.
I think that when they enter adulthood in the working society, it's going to value at them.
Okay,
Yeah.
fair.
It is.
Come, drum rolls. Yes.
Okay, so for us, so my kids are still young. My son, so I'll talk mostly about my son because my daughter 5, a bit young. So my son, primary 1, he loves to draw and he loves to read, in particular comics. And comic books for that age is like Dogman, Captain Underpants, Cat Kid, right? So he loves those two things. So what he started doing, because he's very creative, so what he started doing doing his own comic book. Right? So he would draw his own comics in a little square drawing block stapled together in a book. And he called his own comic Bog Dog. Okay? Bog Dog, about a puppy who is born and then grows up to become a superhero called Bog Dog, who has to fight a band of bad ninjas. Correct, darling? Yes. To fight a band of bad ninjas, right? So he does, and he draws very well. He's very creative and imaginative, so he's got his little captions written. Staple into a little book. Then he brings it to school. So he realized that his friends like to read. They all want to see. So we came up with this idea that he could make a little comic book, and then we make copies and he sell it for 50 cents or $1. Okay,
Yes.
$1,
Our entrepreneur
right?
say it's $1. Yes.
Right. So
Do you raise the price
Double?
after it became popular? Yeah. Not yet. Okay, so it's gonna be $2 after this podcast.
Inflation.
Okay? Yes, inflation. Yeah.
So this teaches him like his creativity, his talents, his passion, ideas, imagination. He can make something from this, from his heart and his hands, to actually make something that people appreciate and value enough to pay for, right? So I think this is a very valuable lesson for him. It's his own little business. He's 7 years old. He's using his own talents. And this basically is all from him. You know what I mean? The idea is just, I gave him, hey, your friends like it. Maybe you think of it like this. So that's what, for me, for the question, the best financial habit or learning about money, this, and then with the money he gets, he saves up to buy, as well as the pocket money he saves up to buy more books. And we buy books on Lazada and Shopee where it's cheap. Okay, we don't go to we don't go to very expensive places to buy books, right? So he buys his Dogman, $3 a book. So he's, I've already got $3, mommy, can I buy a book?
But just so I get it, because I realize we've talked to, leading up to today's event, we've done other podcasts, and there's also a little bit about this like family finances, this whole bit, right? And I start to realize there's a theme. More and more, parents are getting their kids young, like teach them money, maybe you can charge this, maybe you can sell that, all that little bit, right? Which, okay, as an entrepreneur, right? Okay, I can kind of get it, you start young, right? But I do want to ask, what do you think of that whole like social relationship then? Like are we running a risk or everything is very transactional?
I don't think so.
So how are you kind of like balancing that? I just want to understand
so
your
this is just
thoughts.
because it's something that he created, and I want him to see that people appreciate and value. So how in Singapore, you always think, I gotta be a lawyer, I gotta be this, I gotta be that. And the creative side, like drawing, music, singing, dancing, nobody thinks it's like not so valued. And I want him to have this. I always tell them both, they're so creative. This is very important, because not necessarily in school, maybe they don't value creativity. I don't know. I'm not saying they don't, but maybe they don't. Okay. So I want to be at home, really value creativity. So we don't monetize everything. Just this kind of thing where I want him to feel, hey, I'm good at this. I can do this.
Okay, great. So that is round 2. Financial activity or tool to educate your next generation. So round 2, time to vote. And we will reveal who is the winner. Drum rolls. Lalita, and she's crowned the Budget Royale. Woo! Awesome. You won.
I'm surprised. Thank you.
Are you happy?
Yes, I'm
You're
very
gonna
happy.
get a photo of me out of No. Okay, so essentially, Lalita is gonna walk away with an amazing board game by Capital Gains Studio. But I do hope that you'll fight the last round. Maybe I'll throw in a prize later. Okay, so last round is an important round. It's about family travel. On Budget Royale, right? We love this travel topic. We've asked so many people about travel, last minute travel, wedding travel, your favorite travel tip. There's tons of travel. But today we're going to focus on family travel. I think it does add nuance and context to how you decide. Okay, so this is round 3, family travel. Give us your best budget tip.
For me, bring your kids to travel while you're on overseas work.
Oh, okay.
Trip. So if you're going off for a work trip, leverage it. So make it into a family vacation at the same time. Let's say you have a travel trip, a work trip overseas. Let's say maybe to Bangkok. Okay. So you go to work for the days that you are needed. Then the rest of the day, extend it as a family trip. So they will fly in with you, they'll go with you, maybe they stay in the same room with you. So that's how you save on your own end.
So to you, that is a great tip for people, and you will encourage professionals when they go on a work trip to bring their kids along.
To extend it lah.
To extend it.
Extend the days. Apply for leave lah. Extend. Then ask them to come and work with you. Then vacation with you after that.
Okay, fair. I think there is some space for it. I don't think every company allows, especially if you go for big conferences, right? But not every work trip is a big conference. Sometimes you're just there for a meeting or two. Then maybe you could consider that. Okay, so travel for work, bring your kids along, extend the trip. That is the family travel hack. Okay, next.
After COVID reopened, we traveled to quite a lot of places. Then I realized I felt that road trip is the best. So far, to me, it's very long. So because with 2 kids on tow, we drive up north. Basically, we went to Malacca, KL, and then Ipoh. And then I get my kids to kind of just now I mentioned, I get them to plan with me also. So we have we plan pit stop. Nowadays, my girl is watching my expenses. My boy is watching my speed limit. So in a way, back to the point of role modeling, actually I'm very risk averse. Because to bring a family, you have a lot of people to answer to. It's not just myself, my wife, and then I got to answer to the grandparents, my parents, that kind of thing.
You bring them as well?
I try to bring my parents along, but then when
That is a very loaded reply. You bring them as well? Do you have a story to share?
Just saying parents-in-law and parents, it's a big holiday.
Yeah.
I did included my parents, but
Okay.
then I realized if we need 2 cars, right?
Yeah.
Then my father got to drive the other car. And my father is already in his 70s. So I did plan the whole thing, but then I realized wow. And I did the risk assessment, it's very risky, basically. So I kind of excluded them and then get them to fly to somewhere next year. which is safer. Because the eventual goal, I have been an entrepreneur before. I've been in banking. I want to do some like all these small actions, build up all these small actions in a form of experiential planning and budgeting and learning trip. You will learn along the way. Then like example, recently there's a tropical storm coming out and I'm going for my road trip tomorrow. So we have to assess like kind of like put it back just to KL, that kind of thing, to the more built out areas. And we go all the way up to Penang. So it will be a few decision-making points like, at that point of time.
So you haven't yet have you booked your accommodation?
Yeah, I booked. But then there's a cancellation deadline. So we are aware of when the cancellation deadline are and we are flexible about it. Initial thought is very simple. I just cancel, just go KL. Like very, very straightforward. But then I was thinking like get my kids to, they were looking at the Zoom.earth, right? They were monitoring the cyclone, all this. I mean, my boy, right? He really like the weather, all these things, pressure, wind, all these things, right? That is monitoring. So I say, okay, I mean, we still plan it this way. But if there's anything that happened within a certain timeline, we'll just adjust the plan accordingly. So in a way, like I don't just want to kind of like advocate, just kind of like cancel the whole thing, So we want them to think on the foot, to kind of like think along the way. So if there's any changes, they must be very flexible and very agile to adjust to it. Yeah, I mean, it's very easy to just give up the whole thing. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So road trip, right? Just because I think it's getting popular. Right, it's becoming a thing. But I do want to hear like your experience doing like a traditional family travel trip, point to point. You fly there, do the whole thing, as compared to a road trip. How is it different? Why are you advocating this?
So we kind of like did like a Europe trip last year, and then we did a road trip. But then I realized like the amount of fun that we are having is almost similar, because during a road trip is more relaxing, because along the way you can kind of like change your plan. But then when you go to Europe, right, you have to plan all the trains. It's quite stressful in a way.
Is.
Like, yeah, it's so stressful. Like, you got to pack lesser so they can maneuver around with 2 kids on tour.
Warm clothes.
Warm clothes or whatever, contingency plan, medical, all this stuff. Then when we go for like the road trip, right, it's like, there's Guardians, Watson, there are hospitals, there are numbers that we can call. Like there's a lot of avenue for you to get help. But then when you are overseas, the amount of planning, right, actually takes out that fun of it, because there's also a fear of like weather that goes south, that kind of thing. So I realized, actually the fun, like this time, I'm going off tomorrow, so I felt more relaxed this time around. It's like, okay, we just pack very light, just throw everything into our car, that kind of thing.
Everything in the car.
Yeah, everything in the car. I felt very much relaxed, even, and to me, okay, maybe it's not a travel hack as per se, but then it's like, wow, you go to Europe, it's like 18 to 20K. Here is like 3 to 4K, but then the fun level is actually not a lot of difference.
Okay, road trip. I do advocate for road trips. I think it's...
So the eventual goal is about building small goals. So initially we just went like Johor, then Desaru, Malacca, Batu Pahat, Kluang. We slowly build up the trip. So it's like, if you point it like, go Penang or go Thailand, right? It seems like a very big task. So most people will have like, okay, it's too far, it's too... But then I want them to break up the goals into smaller things they can look out for. So every small action actually helps along the way towards building a bigger goal. So to me, it's a life journey, that how you go towards your final goal.
Great. Okay, yes. And Lalita.
Okay, so let me start with a short story of in 2022, when my kids were 2 years old and 4 years old, we decided to go to the UK for 8 weeks.
8 weeks?
8 weeks, 2 years old and 4 years old. Okay, and we drove all the way from London, Lake District, all the way up to the Scottish Highlands. Challenging with a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old, and expensive. Okay, car rent, flights, car rentals, Airbnb, because we had to drive, so we'd get car rentals all in different countries. Okay, I'm saying like it's very hard, but my husband really did most of the organizing. Okay, so but still, okay, it was very, like you said, it requires a lot of planning, right? That also takes a lot of joy away from the holiday. And then you travel with 2 young children for 8 weeks. Let me tell you, when you just want to come home and have a holiday from the holiday. Okay,
a lot of people are like that.
Yes, exactly. So I mean, of course, it was a wonderful experience and everything, but it cost us what, about 40K? Right? Wow. It was very expensive. Yeah, 8 weeks, different locations, driving London.
Yeah, oh my God.
That was that, okay? Then a couple of months later, the same year, for my husband's birthday, we went to Bintan for a weekend, okay? In Bintan for a weekend. Very easy lah, just go there, ferry. And then we stayed in a villa by the beach. And then short while later, I was describing the concept of heaven to my daughter Ava, who was 4 years old at the time. And I said, heaven, in an age-appropriate way, heaven is like this. Then she says, Mommy, is heaven like Bintan? And we had been to Scotland, the most beautiful places, And then, is heaven like Bintan? Really like that? It was hilarious. And I was like, you mean you like Bintan more than that whole trip we did? Yes, Mommy. Bintan is like, it's so beautiful. Bintan, everything Bintan. Right? So for children, it's not about, especially young children, it's not about the fancy going to the museum or going to these fancy, expensive places. It is the experience with you. They want to spend time with you, especially when they're young. And this is the time you need to capitalize on when they want to be with you, right? And when you're at home, Singapore, in your day-to-day life, you're busy at work, they got school, everything, and they say, Mommy, Papa, look at this, look at me. Can you play with me? And you want to, but you can't. But when you set aside time for a holiday, you have all this time to play. You bring your board games, you bring your card games, your Uno, whatever you want to play. You have time just for that. And you don't need to be in a fancy, expensive location for that. You can travel close by and still have the most amazing time. Because why do you have a family holiday? To spend time with your kids, with your family, to bond. Right? That's why, especially when they're still young and they want to be with you and they don't want to go on holiday with their boyfriend and their girlfriend because they don't have them, right? So this is the time. So you don't have to go to fancy places. You stay close by. You don't hop from place to place. Very stressful with young children.
Thank you. Thanks for sharing. Lovely story. Okay, great. So this is the last category. Welcome everybody to vote. Prepare your phones. Okay, so round 3. You get a chance to win, okay? You get a chance to win. Round 3, fastest fingers first. Pick your favorite budget tip. Here, the result goes to Lalita. Woo! The reigning champion of Budget Royale. Yes. So can we give everyone a round of applause? Woo! Now we will announce the winner of the audience. Who will it be? Oh my God, Alistair! Woo! Okay, so Alistair gets a board game. But I think that's all. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your time. Appreciate all of you spending time together with us. And like, share, subscribe. See you at the next episode. Bye-bye!